Hello, everybody. Today, I'd like you guys to get into your vocabulary that you may or may not have started yesterday and try to get that finished. I wasn't sure how far everybody got. I'm not sure how long it took you to take your quiz on Wednesday, but I didn't think you'd have enough time to fully complete your vocabulary. So you can go ahead and access that from our weekly agenda. Your glossary is here. Remember, you can double click to zoom in. And you can access your vocabulary assignment in the Google Assignments box. There are 20 different terms, so it might take you a little bit longer to get it done. I wasn't sure, so I do have something else on the agenda, but you may need most or all of the time to do your vocabulary, and then you can start your map tomorrow. If you aren't sure what to do on your vocabulary, watch yesterday's video that's linked on our weekly agenda, and you can get the instructions from there. Okay, if you do get your vocabulary done, or if you already were done with your vocabulary, on our agenda, I added the instructions for our 13 colonies map. This map will actually be completed on paper. So if you're learning from home, I did add the links that you'll need to print, at least the blank map you'll need to print. But if you're in the classroom, you'll be able to get copies of these from the substitute. So what you're going to get from the sub is a blank map that looks like this. So this will be your 13 colonies map. And then she'll also give you a copy of the map instructions. If you have a paper copy of this, it's really nice that you can cross off the things that you've completed. If you're at home and you don't feel like printing the instructions, you're okay to just print the map. If you're at home and you aren't able to print anything, you can pop in and pick up a copy or have your parents pick up a copy or something like that. Okay, so I can leave it in the office and somebody can bring it out to you. All right, so to complete your map, it says to follow the directions below. You'll be graded on neatness and accuracy. I'd like you to go step by step, so work from the top to bottom and complete each step as it's listed. So step one is the labeling. The first thing you're going to do are find the early colony sites. You're going to label them and place a star where they're located, and it tells you to use maps 1 and 2. So you're going to have the resources pulled up here. They're all labeled. So this is map 1. Jamestown and Roanoke are on this map. Make sure you're looking at some of the other physical features that will help you determine where these dots or stars rather should be placed. And then Plymouth is over here in Massachusetts. Okay, so you'll use maps 1 and 2 for that. Once you have your stars in place and you've labeled these 3 early colony sites, you're going to label each of the 13 colonies. Massachusetts also contained part of what is modern day Maine. So I'm going to have you label it on your map just the way it looks on the resource map that I provided. And I'd also like you to label full names and not abbreviations. I added some abbreviations here so that when you see them on your map, you know that MD means Maryland and you can write out Maryland. Okay, so on your resources map, it has you use map number 2. So you'll see Maine, part of Massachusetts here, NH for New Hampshire, Mass for Massachusetts, so on and so forth. Feel free to draw lines off of the coast of your location and write off of the map. That would be fine. And then once you have your colonies labeled, you'll find these 4 cities, put a dot on their location and label them. Then it tells you which maps to use. You have a few bodies of water to label, and it tells you which map to use, and then the Appalachian Mountains and backcountry, okay? So your task is to start at the top with your labeling. I wouldn't expect you to get this done in a class period anyways, and you're probably finishing your vocabulary. But if you do have time to get started, you can obtain this from the substitute and get started on it. If you're working from home, work on your vocabulary for maybe 40 minutes and try to get that done. And if you have any extra time, you can access your map and get started. I have it on the agenda for Friday as well, and this is all we'll be working on. Eventually, when you're done labeling, you will color your map. So it has some instructions to color your map in pretty specific colors and to then create a key for your map to show what the colors and symbols represent. So I don't expect you to get that far, but if you have time today, you can get started with this. Okay, if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email or pop over to the library, and I'll see you guys later.